All right, now back to what we were saying. That is a misconception, I think, about beards. They're really not that hot. I'm sure they can be if you have a thick, full, massive, ginormous beard. But like a beard like mine, I don't think I would. It looks like it would be hot, but I don't think I'd tell that much difference if I cut mine off.
I could tell the difference after I shaved mine. Now, it wasn't that bad when I had
it's
it.
only your chin. I mean, like your jaw and chin.
What happened was I got sweaty and sweat was running down my face and it started running down in the. It was just horrible. So it felt like things was crawling around in my beard.
It felt like people were living in there.
Yeah, so
like a family of birds. We talked about that when I had the bearded villains on here, and it's funny because a lot of people, are misconceive beards as being nasty, but man, we baby these things so much. They're cleaner than anything.
Yeah.
I got a beard comb and I wash it and I put cream in it and all that stuff. I do. I got the Cremo.
Cremo? Oh, yes.
I'm about out. I'm going to need some oil. That shit's expensive. Like, beards are too popular right now. I've always had a freaking beard. Now all of a sudden they're popular and they're charging so much for product.
Yeah.
Because it's trendy. I'm like, dude, they're beards. They've been around since like the year 1.
Yeah.
Since like negative 50,000 BC they've been around.
Yeah, it's been around. Yeah.
What else did I make you not talk about till we started recording? We always have like these good conversations, and then we don't record it.
The show?
Oh man, yeah, I wanted to tell you about the show last night. It was awesome. Which I had heard about this Mud Bog place. Have you heard about it in Fulton? It's been around for a while.
I haven't heard about the one in Fulton, but my nephew goes to one. I think somewhere in West Point area. I don't know where exactly it is, but somewhere out in there. But I've heard about these things before.
Which, by the way, I can see the air conditioner coming through the audio. Like it makes enough noise to spike the. And I just gotta apologize today. We're in that part of the time of year. We ain't turning it off.
You just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Because what would happen is if I turned it off, it would be so hot in here, we would just
say we're not doing a podcast.
Or it would be like a 5-minute podcast. Yeah. Talk about sweating your beard.
It's like, damn, it's hot. That's all right. We're good.
So we just gotta deal with the background noise for now. So anyway, I'm obviously in and around Fulton a lot, so I've heard all about the Mud Bog place. And there's like this wrapped limo that's jacked up with like big tires that drives around Fulton a lot. That's pretty cool looking, and it's like an advertisement for the Mud Bog thing. But I never been out there, and they booked us to play, and I had seen and heard that there was supposed to be bad weather. Like, it was supposed to rain like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, and like there were like 100% chance. So I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna get canceled. Well, sure enough, I get a message first thing, I think Thursday or Friday morning. It's like, hey, the music portion, at least, of the Mud Bog has been canceled. Because I figured they would do. If you're playing in the mud, why would you care if it's raining? I figured that part would go on. Which I was glad because it's a benefit.
They get riled up when it starts to rain.
Yeah, that's when it gets fun,
I guess. Reference? I'll explain it to you later.
No, I get it.
Do you? No, you don't.
Okay.
It's a song.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't. But I was glad they were going to go through with it either way, because like I said, it's a benefit. And I want it to do good regardless. But then when I woke up, which I didn't stay up that late Friday night, I did this segment I'm going to play in a little bit. And, well, that was really it. I ordered pizza. And me and Pig just sat here till, I don't know, midnight. And I went to bed. And I woke up to like 8,000 messages. Like, I'm talking Voxers, Facebook, text, missed calls, and everybody's trying to get in touch with me to let me know that it's uncanceled. I was like, okay, let's do this. I had to do some rearranging because, Blake was in Vicksburg. Nicholas had the trailer. Why'd I call him Nicholas? That's his name, but I always call him Nick.
I don't know. Just trying to be formal for the podcast.
I'm trying to be a little formal. And I had to meet him in Tremont to get the trailer, get it back here. I had to get it loaded. But either way, we made it. And man, I get to this place, and it's not that far out of Fulton, but it feels like it's really far away from everything. Because once you make that turn, it's like civilization ends. It's over. Like you're in the middle of, you've gone back in time a long time.
Oh, a long time.
And it's funny because I'm following my GPS, and when I make this turn onto a gravel road, the first thing I see is a legit monster truck. And I don't mean a big 4-wheel drive. I mean like this. We're talking about crushing cars at Spencer Speedway. You remember Spencer Speedway?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
where they used to have Bigfoot and
yeah.
stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I'm here. But I wasn't. That wasn't it.
That was just some guy.
That was just a monster truck just hanging out.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do there in that area.
He would have been there that night, but that's not where it was at.
That's what was so funny, because I hadn't made it yet.
You probably could have asked him.
When I saw the monster truck.
And he would have known.
It wasn't far from there, though. It was on that same road. It kind of did. I think if I remember correctly, it dead ends. Oh no, I did make a turn, and there's like 2 like massive hills. And I get there, and you have to sign a waiver. I didn't read the fine print. It's like the terms and conditions or whatever. Nobody reads that. But I'm sure it's basically saying, if you die, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah. Don't sue us. You signed this thing. Which I get it. There's a lot
It's probably not even if you die. It's probably if you tear your truck up, I'm not fixing it.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of,
Because if you die, it don't cost that much. But if your truck
Which I don't know why I had to sign one, because I'm just going out there to see.
Right.
Well, you never know. You might want to run through a
That's
manhole.
true. I might jump on a 4-wheeler and get crazy.
Yeah.
So, they had this concession stand. That's where I checked in at. And this is like this big, like everything out there is huge. Somebody said, and I don't know because I only saw like one small portion of it, but they said this is like hundreds of acres.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like even the concession stand was like they had a kitchen and food, which I bought a hamburger when I got there because I was starving. But like they had like this pavilion area out there. You could host like a freaking class reunion.
Awesome.
I mean, like just their snack bar alone was this big thing. And you still had a long way, well, not a long way, but a little bit ways to go to get to the stage area. And I get there, and the first thing I noticed is it didn't look like there was a lot of people there. I was like, well, everybody thought it was going to be canceled, and it wasn't canceled. I was like, maybe that hurt the attendance. And we were hanging out, having a few beers and stuff, and when it got closer to time to play, it was pretty trippy, man, because these trails supposedly just go on and on forever. Like these people that own the place have like bulldozers and heavy machinery, and I guess they go out and make these trails and stuff. And so the reason it looked like there wasn't a lot of people there is because they were out
trailing around,
on, dirt bikes and mostly 4-wheelers. And then when it got close to time for us to play, like everybody comes pulling up on their 4-wheelers, and like you're playing to people sitting on their 4-wheeler, just listening to it. It's kind of trippy. I'm like, this is different. I've been doing this 20 years, and I've never played to like just a crowd of people sitting on 4-wheelers. Pretty cool though. I mean, it was different. It was hot.
They have the one my nephew goes to wherever it's at. They have music acts out there as well. They have a lot of music.
Oh yeah, they've got a nice stage built out there with a cover over. I wouldn't mind going playing there again. I'd do it.
Cool.
For sure. I mean, it's not far.
Do your own Mud music festival out there. How about that?
I mean, they've got it. They've got the setup for it, and they've obviously got the. I think people go out there it's open, I guess, every weekend.
Cool.
And people go out there all the time, and from what I heard, not from what I've seen, but there's just endless trails and hills to jump, and I mean, I guess Mud Bog is definitely a good way to describe it. It's an adequate name. There's a lot of mud bogging to do out there. But we had a good time. It was a good turnout. Everybody did good. Seeking 7 got me up on stage to do Pitiful Me with them. You know that song that I sing with them on the record? And it was like, it was hot and we were really, really freaking sweaty, but it was almost once the adrenaline kicks in, it's sort of like if you get stuck out in the rain and you just embrace it. And
Yeah.
It's like, F it, you know.
Just you deal with it.
Just go, just lay into it. And we were just headbanging and just sweating everywhere and just reeking. Like, I stopped at Walmart in Fulton on my way in and bought an extra large can of Axe body spray. Just because I knew I was going to
It'd
be
be that
nasty.
sweaty, yeah.
That's how bad it was. And, man, that heat just really takes your energy away. We went by McDonald's on the way home, of course, as one would.
Yeah.
And we came back here and I sat in that chair right there and I was like this. Like I looked like I was completely wasted, but it was just like
The sun zaps all the
a
energy.
buzz mixed with exhaustion.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm going to drink one more beer and then I'm going to try to go to bed. I try to make it to bed. It was a good gig, though. We're off next weekend, and then the next we're going to Jackson, Tennessee to play the Naked Turtle, and somebody's off work that weekend.
I am.
I'm off that work. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I'm just connecting some dots
Connecting
here,
some
bro.
dots.
I'm just seeing some dots, and I've got a pen, and I'm drawing some lines, you know. What have you been doing this week, other than working?
Work. Me, Laura only gets off one weekend a month, so
She was off and I was off, so we had planned to do something.
something. We didn't care what.
And it lined up just right where y'all could spend some time,
So
some QT.
we was gonna go somewhere. We didn't know where we was going.
We settled on the Flying Saucer,
So we went there, but we got up there early,
and we got
we was back home by 8:00 that night. Basically, we just went up there for a late lunch. Good trip.
Man, I really wish I could go with y'all Wednesday because those glasses.
We
sound
may go
awesome.
Wednesday. It's a big possibility.
Man, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Those
'cause-
glasses with Ned Stark on them for
Well,
Father's Day.
The
I mean,
banner,
come
they
on,
had
bro.
like an old school type banner that said Father's Day glass, and the only thing it said Father's Day glass, and then it had that symbol for the Stark house, that wolf head, right?
Yeah.
So we asked our waitress, like, is that glass going to have that wolf head on it? And apparently, I don't think she was a Game of Thrones fan, but because she came out and said, no, it does not have the wolf head on it. It's got something about Ned Stark. We was like, holy crap!
You had me at Ned Stark.
So we may have to go get the Father's Day glass Wednesday at the Flying Saucer.
I know we've talked about Game of Thrones a lot on here, like every episode for
Mm-hmm.
this season, this last season. I can't even remember if we've done a wrap up, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I really just want to speak about, your opinion of the outrage from internet towards season 8. Because I don't get the feeling that in our group we're really that mad about it.
We're not, and what I get out of the whole thing is, yes, they done a series based on George R. Martin's books. Yes, after it got to a certain point, they got past the books, and people started bitching. But guess what? The people who write for HBO are not George R. R. Martin, and they're not gonna be.
But didn't they write with his kind of
Out with his no, I don't think they did. I think that's
or he gave him an outline.
he gave a kind of sort of thing.
So just make sure this happens here and that happens and
Yeah.
this is how it ends. I think it's
But
basically what I heard.
there's so much from the books that they left out that when he finishes this book, it's not going to be the same story. It's going to have the same character, but it's not going to be the same story. So it's going to be, if you want to find out what the real endings are supposed to be, you're going to have to read the freaking books.
I think that's good. I like it that there's two experiences because it's like Game of Thrones is over, but it's kind of not over if you're
a book reader.
keep hitting my microphone. I think this is my opinion of it. I think none of us wanted the show to end because, not trying to be like all hippie like, but this show really brought people together, man. Like people, think about all the people that talk about Game of Thrones, and we had watch parties over here. Like I said, we synchronized the computer with the DVR and cranked up the PA system to where the Battle of Winterfell was like. It sounded like we were in the son of a bitch. Like, there was shit rattling on the walls when stuff would explode. I mean, it was just this huge event that everybody looked forward to and everybody loved it. So of course we're mad that it's over, but we're not mad. Like, I think it's misdirected anger. Like there's like, well, the show sucked. Well, the show didn't suck. It sucks that it's over.
The thing I get when people say that, like that them show writers didn't do this right. Them people did this. If you done a show and somebody come up to you, he said, you know that second song? I think you need to do this in the bridge, and the chorus needs to go this way. It's like, I wrote this song, you didn't. Who the hell are you? Yeah, I mean,
true. Yeah.
They done this. Yeah, you just got to take it. You take what they give you. That's your input in watching a movie because you're watching a movie.
Now, I will say this.
Yeah.
One thing that I do agree with, it should not have been a reduced episode season. It should have been.
I think they should have
at least as long as the other seasons.
I think they're just trying to get done.
There was some rushing. That doesn't mean it was bad writing, but man, the thing about Game of Thrones, especially when you listen to the books, there's plenty of time for everything to breathe. There's a lot of time. And they put a lot of time into the show, you know, and they really flesh these stories out between each character. And then yeah, it felt like they were just trying to kind of having to rush to tie everything up, and you really didn't have these. You didn't have enough moments to let the story breathe. It was just constant, like bam, 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 bam. You're always redlining. You never had like, you were never in the green zone or the yellow zone. You're always in the red zone with season 8, and I think that's the only. It doesn't mean that the way it ended sucked. It doesn't mean that the story sucked or the writing sucked. I don't think any of it really sucked, but it was a little rushed. It was. I see how clandestine you're being over here, but just let her rip. This is going to be different. I expected more.
I'm disappointed, actually.
So for everybody listening, what do you call those? I know it's a growler, but that swing top pop.
No
bottle.
carbonation whatsoever.
He just opened a big bottle of. Is that the Smash beer?
No, this is not the Smash beer. This one. Why you only got a half a glass? Because you might not like it.
What is this? Oh, this is the Blue Moon clone.
Apparently, I put this in the fridge too soon because it needs more carbonation.
How long did it? I mean, the prime and sugar melted, didn't it?
It's not bad. It's beer.
Your face doesn't agree with what you said.
You'll see.
According to your face, it's horrible. It's sweet.
It's almost a sour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. But I can get the Blue Moon.
I don't get the Blue Moon.
You don't get it?
No. This tastes like a
sour.
It's strong.
Yeah.
You don't think it got contaminated, do you?
No, there's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, it would taste like shit if it did.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've drank this?
No, I drank one before. And
Did it
it was
taste
a
like
little
this?
bit better carbonated, but it tastes the same. But I think I got some that's still sitting out in that's sitting out in a non-refrigerator. That's so it probably fermented a little bit, carbonated a little bit more than this.
It's not bad.
It's not bad though for a beer kit.
It's not what I expected.
It's not what I expected either.
I can bottle my IPA Tuesday.
Cool.
A little gallon of IPA.
I bought 2 of them. I got 2 of them I got to do.
Did you do the IPA?
No, that's what I bought.
You bought 2 IPAs?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. Have you seen the trailer for the new Chucky movie?
Yes, I have.
What did you think?
I don't like the way he looks.
Okay. So, we already agree on something before we even start out. Now, I'm glad they're still doing Chucky movies. And let me tell you something they're doing right with this. And then I'm going to tell you something they're doing wrong. They got Mark Hamill voicing
I
Chucky.
heard that.
That is awesome.
Kara told me that.
Like, a lot of people's favorite Joker is Mark Hamill, and
Right.
he's never even played the Joker physically. He just voiced it because, like, he's that good of a voice actor. But man, like, Chucky was the last practical effect we had left, because there was what, 6, 7 Chucky movies. Like, what came out? You had the Bride of Chucky, then the Seed of Chucky when it's like the kid, and then wasn't there one after that? The Curse of Chucky, maybe.
Oh Lord, I have no idea.
But they kept going, and they were actually pretty good. Even the ones that were silly were still pretty good. But they always used a puppet. Chucky has always been a puppet.
Yes.
Always, 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 always. He's never been CGI. And, I mean, I'm sorry, but us nerds, us people of pop culture, we have some bad experiences with CGI. Think about our favorite movies. The original Star Wars, right? The old school horror movies where, like, CGI didn't exist and they had to use practical effects. Like, everything that's adored by and revered as, like, the just the iconic nerd culture stuff wasn't CGI. Now, they've done some cool CGI stuff. Like, look at what they're doing in the Marvel movies. Like, the freaking, dude, Avengers Endgame, the CGI was great, but I didn't like the movie because of the CGI. It was just a great tool to tell the story. But we've had some bad things happen through CGI, and to do a CGI Chucky is pretty brave, pretty bold. It's gonna have to be a great story.
I probably won't even watch it till it comes out on video. Just to be
Seriously?
honest, yeah.
Oh, you mean you won't go to the theater?
I won't go to the theater and watch it. Now, if it was a puppet, I watched a trailer the other day and I can't remember the name of it. I was trying to find it.
I think there was a teaser and then there was a full-blown trailer that actually showed Chucky, and I was like, whoa. I mean, this is the world we live in now. I mean, it's just going to be that way.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the
sucks,
freaking
though.
Terminators, man. From the like Terminator and T2. Those were puppets, dude. Those badass crawling after Sarah Connor through the tunnel and grabbing at her. That was a puppet. Puppets is where it's at.
I agree. 100% on puppets.
I like me some puppets when it comes
I
to
like me
horror.
some puppets.
I mean, I guess that's what you would call it, as a puppet. Like animatronic, you know. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a puppet. But I liked all the Chucky movies. Like, even the... I'm wanting to say some of those older ones might have even been straight to DVD. Maybe.
Some of the Chuckies did.
Some of them were kind of low budget, but they were still pretty good because it's funny and it's scary and it's good. Like this, he was the last practical effect of the horror genre. I mean, what's next? You know, you remember at Nightmare on Elm Street? Was it part 1 where Freddy walks out and his arms start stretching?
Yeah, I think it's.
And he was scraping the walls on each side with his claws and shit.
I think it's 2.
Would that have been as scary if it had been CGI? I don't think so. It just looked freaky.
As you could see the rigidness of the arms moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked creepy. If you did that in CGI, I don't think it would be as scary. It wouldn't look like a nightmare.
Yeah. Like I can say the claymation monsters and the gate wouldn't have been scary if they were CGI.
Yeah. Good point.
Like when the little dude fell over and busted into a bunch of little bitty ones.
Yeah, because it looked unnatural.
And that's what it needed to look like.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is with horror movies, if you're doing a remake, which obviously this one is, you've got this fine line, man. You want to stay true to the story,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to just remake the same thing we've already seen in modern day. Like you want to. It's hard, man. It's hard. You don't want to make the same movie twice, but if you go too far off, people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this shit?"
That's what I think they need to do, because that's what they used to do, and it was a success, and they succeeded in it. I think where they mess up is when they would try to reinvent the wheel. If you Chucky 1, Child's Play, you take Child's Play,
And it was made whenever, I don't remember when it was made, late 80s, early.
Something like that.
Yeah. If you make the exact movie, and the only thing you change is the timing,
it will be a success if you do it just
You
like
think?
that. Yes.
I don't know.
if you try to
I think
change
if you're
that,
making the exact movie shot for shot and just modernizing it, I would rather see the original.
no, I think you should modernize. That's what you should do. That's what makes that movie.
So you
great.
should try. You think your opinion is you should stay as close as possible
To the original as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
If they remade Alien, if they remade Alien, and they changed the whole script and put the same monster in it, it'd suck.
That's another
It's got to be
good
the same
example of where
practical effects.
those practical effects were creepy, man. That's what made that movie a horror movie. Because of those creepy ass face
You've
huggers.
done that.
If you did that in CGI, that wouldn't be
This
scary.
is the thing. If
It would just look
you-
like
it
cartoon
would look like
spiders.
cartoon, because the CGI, and this is how they done their practical effect. Every time you seen the alien, there was always this steam from the ship, and what they done that to break up the rigidness of a puppet.
Yeah.
That made it look real, because it was freaking real. It's a real thing. You could reach out there and touch it.
But that's what made it great. But if they
CGI'd it, they might not put that steam in there, and they might not put those things in there that make it scary.
Right.
and it would take away from it.
I'm looking forward to there being another Chucky movie, and I'm going to watch it, but I'm really concerned about that, him being a CGI. What else was I want to talk to you about? We talked about the Game of Thrones final season. I watched I'm trying to get into Fear the Walking Dead because it looks like it's getting good. I know you've watched like every episode. But you know what I watched last Sunday? I watched that Nosferatu show.
I have not seen it yet, but I want to.
The first episode, it was kind of... I'm looking forward to seeing this. I think I'll know by tonight, the second episode comes on, if I'm going to like it or not. I like the idea of it because I didn't even realize, and this is cool, it's like Stephen King's son wrote this.
Yes.
And what's cool about him is he used a pen name his whole career, which a lot of authors do, but from what I understand, his idea was he didn't want
He didn't want to write on the King name.
He didn't want to become popular because of his dad.
Yeah.
He wanted to become popular on his own and be successful, and then say, "Oh, by the way, my dad's Stephen King."
My dad's Stephen
And what was really cool, and this isn't a spoiler, because you'll see it right away when he opens the. There's a thing where he opens up a map, and he's looking at it, and it's got a Pennywise reference.
Oh, really?
And like me and Sean paused it. He's like, "Back that up." He's like, "Did that say Pennywise's playground or playhouse or whatever?" I was like, "It did, didn't it? Can they do that? I mean, is that legal? Like, there's copyright issues?" Well, then that's after the fact. I found out it's Stephen King's son, so he's like giving like a nod to his dad's work.
Cool.
So that's really cool. It was just a quick little. I mean, it was just a little. You know, it's not part of the story
Right.
yet.
It's just something
or
in there.
it probably won't be, but it was kind of a little, you know, a little nod. I thought it was cute.
I just finished the Stephen King book when I pulled it to the driveway. I was just finishing the audiobook.
Which one?
The Outsider.
Yeah.
It's a newer one. I never read it. I never
Heard of it?
But it's a pretty good book.
How does that dude write so many books, man?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know when it was out.
He cranks out books like a machine. Like he releases a book a day. He'll write like a short story and they'll make a 3-part movie out of it.
Yeah. This one came out May of 18. May 2018 is when this book come out, so it's cool. And it actually had a tie-in to some other books that he written, like a legitimate, not like, you know, one of them kind of off the wall tie-ins, or a legit tie-in. It was cool because I listened to and the tie-in came from characters from 3 other novels, a trilogy that he had written, and it poured in one of the characters from it, so I like that. And it was cool because I'd read those 3 books. There's a series about those books that I'm talking about, the Mercedes Man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, and that reminds me, the Nosferatu thing was a book, and then it was a comic book, and then now it's a TV show. And those comic books are like, well, the comic book isn't called Nosferatu; it's called The Wraith.
The Wraith.
Yeah. And it's really going up in value right now.
I bet.
Everybody on the internet's trying to buy it in case the show really takes off. AMC hasn't really screwed us over yet.
No, they haven't. They do a pretty good job.
Yeah, they got a pretty good batting average right now.
They don't take crap.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
Like even shows that I didn't think I would give a damn about, like Better Call Saul, and it's a home run.
Did I like secretly put that show out? I don't even know when it comes on. I don't know what season I'm on.
The season 2 is over, or
3.
3 just ended.
So it should be coming on Netflix soon.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
It's good too. It
I've
ended
seen it.
like it didn't end with a cliffhanger, but it ended with like a cool. Like I hope they do another season, and I feel like they will. But if they never did another season,
It'll be fine.
it ended so cool
All
this
right, I have
season.
to
It was
check
like,
that.
oh, dude, it was like one of those like the season before that ended with like a like oh my
Yeah.
god, like most but this one ended with like a oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we've done like 30 minutes. This is kind of an intro, but we kind of just started the podcast. What you're gonna hear next is just me by myself. I feel naked and weird when I do podcasts by myself. But there was a lot I wanted to talk about, like Batman related, and I knew none of y'all would give a shit about being a part of that anyway. And I was here by myself, and the only difference I see is like when I'm podcasting, whether we're doing around the bar or it's just me and you or me and Kelly or all 3 of us, I'm talking to somebody. When I'm by myself, I'm still talking to somebody, but those people aren't here yet. They haven't tuned in yet, so it feels weird. And when I edited it, it was harder because I realized I took a lot of more pauses. You know, I was too choppy. I guess because that's a muscle I haven't exercised much. Us sitting here bullshitting with a couple of microphones, we're used to that now.
Right.
We don't feel weird about it, but sitting here by myself, I still feel kind of weird doing it.
I wish I had that capability to do, because sometimes I read so many books. Well, I listen to so many books that like I need to tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
I could just like record that bit.
I wish you would.
But it was like 2 minutes
great
or
content.
30 minutes. I could just whoop.
It'd be great content.
And
If you were just, you couldn't do it going down the road. I've tried that. There's too much road noise in the car. But if you just went to a quiet room and pulled out your voice recorder and started talking and emailed it to me, I could drop it in the podcast. I could edit it for you and drop it in.
Awesome.
And, you know, again, like I said, it's like a muscle I haven't exercised much, so it's still new to me. I've done a couple small intros here and there, which wasn't a big deal. But this is the first time I've done like a whole segment. I think the more you do it, like you may not even want to send me the first couple because you're like so self-conscious.
Yeah.
But by the time you get used to it, like, oh, here's some shit I did. Throw this in the podcast. I'll be like, oh, cool. Content. And too, like our last 3 episodes are doing really well. Like a lot of people are listening to the Two Below Con episode 1 and 2, and then what was the one after that?
The one with you and Robbie.
Yeah, talking about the Mud Bog thing.
Yeah.
No. Talking about not the Mud Bog, the
bike show, the biker.
Yeah. All those last 3 are really, really climbing. The numbers are looking good on those. That's why when I saw that, I was like, "Dang, we need to put on another podcast." Well, we got a little momentum going.
Yeah.
So anyway, we need to go check the grill. I think the coals are ready. We're
Probably.
gonna cook some food. We're gonna drink some more of this Blue Moon clone, and I got some IPAs I want you to try that I got from the smokestack today.
All right.
You got anything else?
I'm good for now.
Alrighty. Let's pay some bills and play something by the sponsors.
Those new band shirts look awesome. Where did you get those done?
At Anarchy Design.
They do screen printing now?
Oh yeah, they do professional custom screen printing at a very competitive rate.
Well, where can I find them?
Look them up on Facebook, facebook.com/anarchydesign69, or email them at anarchydesign69@gmail.com. You can check out some of their work on their Facebook page. When you're ready to order, you can send them your idea, or they can design it for you. It's a one-stop shop for all your screen printing needs. That's anarchydesign69@gmail.com. It's a one-stop shop for all your screen printing needs. That's anarchydesign69@gmail.com. I must apologize in advance. I know you can hear the air conditioner in the background. I normally turn it off when I'm recording, but as we record this, it is June in the South, and that means the air conditioner does not go off for any reason. So my audio is going to suffer slightly, but I'm going to be comfortable rather than vice versa. So I hope it's not too annoying. I want to talk about Batman for a minute. I've been doing something cool lately. I've been reading old comic books. Like old. Not like Golden Age, which Golden Age is considered like 1930s to like 1950. That's kind of the Golden Age of comics, I guess. I don't know why they call it the Golden Age. I guess because that's the original, when the original stuff came out. And then they transferred into like the Silver Age. Well, sometime around the 60s, early 70s, Batman kind of transitioned into the Dark Knight versus the older, campy, more times than not silly, kid-friendly, which I'm not knocking the Golden Age stuff. I mean, it's still awesome. You know, it definitely had its place, and I still like collecting those. It's awesome to check out that artwork and that vintage look to the artwork on the covers and everything. But as far as reading, they're not that, to me anyway. I don't really like the Golden Age stuff that much. I mean, of course, it's really cool to get a Bill Finger story, you know, and a Bob Kane story and read those. But, I don't know, there was just a lot of silly, weird shit going on with those 40s and early 50s comics. Like, just some real off-the-wall stuff. And it's funny to see how Batman's changed over the years. You know, like, I mean, think about the difference between Batman 66 with Adam West and Batman Michael Keaton in 89? Or was that 90? But it took them that long, because the Dark Knight stuff, like I said, they went from the Adam West, like the pow and zock, and, you know, like when they would hit somebody, it would say zoom or like these weird words. They went from that in the comics to similar to what we have now in the 60s. But it took them till in the media to like almost 1990 to catch up. So there's a lot of really good Batman stories out there that haven't been explored in TV, movies, etc. It's pretty neat as far as the way they used to print comics was the similar way that they printed newspapers. It was on like a printing press. So each comic is one of a kind because there's teeny tiny differences in the artwork because none of them are perfect. There's little imperfections. Like, they're all similar, but none of them are there might be a little more ink on this or a little lighter there. Sometimes there's a little blur where I don't know if the paper shifted a little or I don't know how all that works, but I get the general idea. I know I was reading one yesterday, like, where it showed Batman and, like, he was his mouth area, you know, where his cowl is, like, it's flesh colored, but then his eyes are white, but something got messed up and one of the eyes was flesh colored, and then there was a white, like, above the eye. So it was like, I don't know, the color shifted or something. I think stuff like that's cool because, you know, the little imperfections is what makes it, what ties it to the time and how it was printed. And again, makes it one of a kind, kind of. Another cool thing is, like what I'm reading right now is Detective Comics, somewhere around the 400s when like Denny O'Neil was still writing. He's got some great stories. So it'd be around Detective Comics 400 to 500. And so that'd put us in like 1977. And it's hard to describe, but like when they draw things from the 70s and they're in the 70s, it looks different than if somebody drew something nowadays and tried to make it look like it was from the 70s. Like if you drew a car, or like I saw one panel where they're sitting inside of a car riding down the road. They weren't trying to draw a car from the 70s. They were just trying to draw a car. And it had all the square looking, like I don't know why automobiles hadn't figured out round shapes yet or rounded things, but everything was square. And it looked cool because it just, to me, it looked different than if somebody was trying to draw like a period piece now and they were trying to draw a car that looked like it was from the 70s, if that makes any sense at all. But those stories are like really good. And it's funny to see how people just communicated with each other differently back then. I mean, it's 70s wasn't that long ago, but like when in the back of the comics, people would write in, and they would write to the editor, and they would publish their letters, and they would respond to them in the back of the comic about the previous comic. And just the way people communicated with each other was just a little bit differently than they do now. There was a certain, and again, I can't put my finger on it. It's just the tone was different. It was a little more on the nose. The humor was different. Like the further back in time you go, like the people just communicate differently. I think if time machines were real and you went back to like the 20s, it would be difficult for you to adjust, like just talking to people. And if you went back even further than that, you know, you go back too far and people are speaking in King James, you know, like thee and thouest and all that stuff. So the way we talk to each other has changed over time. Another thing I noticed that's changed, the Batman's more believable. I know that sounds weird because we're talking about a completely fictional character in a fictional world, but I'll give you an example. Like when he gets hurt in the 70s comics, it takes him a while to heal. Like he'll 3 issues later still reference where he got hurt. He'll be like running after a criminal, and he'll be like, "Oh, can't run as fast as I normally would. My leg is still hurting from where I tangled with the Joker." And then there'll be a little bubble or a little square that says reference, you know, Detective Comics number 425 or whatever. And like 3 or 4 issues ago, where his leg got hurt. And like I read one where Dr. Phosphorus burned Batman when they were fighting, and like he stayed burned for 2 or 3 issues. Nowadays, if Batman got shot or stabbed by the next issue, you wouldn't even know that ever happened. Like in the movies, you know, they heal unrealistically quickly. Another cool thing they used to do is, you know how you're reading a comic, the way the panels are laid out, you can't always tell exactly which one you're supposed to read next, because sometimes it's like, you know, you read left to right, but it's not always perfectly set up. Sometimes it's offset, and sometimes you'll have like a little square here, and then the rest of the page, and then a square here, and it's just not always laid out perfectly, which is fine, but sometimes it's confusing, and you'll be reading panels, and you'll go, "Oh wait, okay, I was supposed to read that one first," and then you read it, and you kind of piece it together in your mind, and it's fine. But they would have arrows. They would point, read this one, then this one, then they would zigzag down across, and it deliberately would show you what order to read the panels on the page. I thought that was kind of cool. I forgot they did that. Another thing I noticed, and I guess it's a sign of the times, is like Batman's relationship. Well, Bruce Wayne's relationship with women, which he's still he's always been a playboy, but he had a real James Bondian in those older comics. Like he hooked up with this one girl, and I think if I remember correctly, she was on a date with another guy. He's like, "Hey, girl, what's up? Why don't we hang out later, or whatever?" Like, super smooth, super, playboy billionaire. And like I said, he's still kind of that way today, but I don't know. It's just different. That was kind of a sign of the times too, in the 70s. But I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun reading those. It kind of takes me back. Not that I remember the 70s that well, but it takes me back as a kid reading Batman comics from that era. I got to thinking about that a lot. Why are we so hungry for nostalgia? Why do we want our childhood stuff? And I think it's because our lives were so much simpler when we were kids. Like, I wouldn't want to be a kid again. Like, I remember being a kid, sitting on my bed, reading Batman comic books, but I wouldn't want to be that kid again. I guess there are periods of my life that I probably would revisit, maybe, but it would have to be with the stipulation, like they always say, and I'd have to go there knowing what I know now, because I'm a much wiser fool than I was then. But yeah, like, I think I finally figured it out. The reason we like playing D&D, we like reading old comic books, and we like the nostalgia part of it is, our lives were a lot simpler, and it's fun to remember a time when you didn't have all the crazy hustle and bustle of adulting, Some exceptions apply, of course. Some people had terrible childhoods, but there was a time in your life when you weren't worried about property taxes and friggin' medical bills and do I have enough in my account to pay my cell phone bill before my next paycheck? Do I need to call AT&T? And like, you know what I mean? Like, you just didn't have these many cares. So we're living such fast-paced lives now that we like remembering when it was simpler, and I think that's healthy. I'm not trying to be your therapist right now. In fact, I would probably be a terrible one. So get off my couch. But yeah, I just had that revelation when I was reading all these old comics. I was like, why do we like nostalgia so much, especially as nerds? Like I said, there's a reason 40 and 50-year-old men play D&D. One, because it's an awesome freaking game. But two, it reminds us of our 10-year-old selves when our worlds were small and we didn't have as much problems. And when you read old stuff like that, and when you play old games like that, if you fire up your old dusty console and play Space Invaders or whatever your childhood period piece was, Mario or PlayStation 1 if you're younger, it's kind of fun I think it's healthy to do that every now and then, and that's why we like nostalgia. So like I said, I'm not your therapist. Get off my couch. And I'll just say I recommend you doing what I'm doing right now and go read some old comics. May not be Batman for you, but of course I'm a Batman guy. So, and I'm reading detective comics because there's a very... Back then there was a distinction between detective comics and Batman comics. Obviously, goes without saying they're both Batman titles. But Detective Comics really focused more on Batman's detective skills. And like I said, just that artwork from back then is just so cool. Like, people call it a cold read, where you read the comic book and you go back through and you just look at the artwork. I kind of do both at the same time. Like, I don't speed read comic books. I take my time. I mean, otherwise, just read a regular book without pictures. I'm a fan of art. I think it's really cool. And like those old ones, like I said before, like if you see, like the buildings looked different back then than they do now. Like even street lights and all that stuff, it just, I don't know, it's cool. I recommend it. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about that is Batman related. A lot of people have been asking me, what is my opinion or reaction to Robert Pattinson playing Batman, because that's official now. He is going to be our next cinematic Batman. And I'm going to completely break it down. One minute you're going to think I'm on board for it. The next minute you're going to think I'm hating it. Because the reason for that is I'm going to be completely objective. being objective is that thing the internet isn't capable of doing. So I'm like being un-internet and like breaking things down from an objective standpoint. So, like most people, my initial knee-jerk reaction was because the obvious. Twilight. Nobody wants a sparkling vampire to be Batman, right? There's a lot more things to consider. Yeah, he played in a really crappy movie. A really sappy movie that made vampires... If you're a fan of vampires and horror like I am, it was kind of insulting, to be honest with you. But I have to remind you about a individual named Heath Ledger who played several different roles doing the teenage heartthrob thing. Particularly, I remember 10 Things I Hate About You, a total like teenage drama movie. I think he did some dance movie where they're like dancing, like Shut Up and Dance or something like that, or I think that's the name of a game. I don't know all the names of them, but I know he did a lot of those really horrible teenage love story, rom-coms, whatever you want to call them. Another thing is that we hate Twilight, but guess who else also hates Twilight? Robert Pattinson. He's made that clear in several interviews that he's not a fan of the Twilight series. And like, well, why'd he do it then? Well, I don't know. I'm not an actor, but if I put myself in his shoes, from what I understand, he did a lot of indie films prior to that got really good reviews. And then somebody came along, I guess, and said, hey, would you like $1 billion to go play a sparkling vampire for 3 movies and then get on with your career doing whatever else you want to do? Sure. Why not? Show me the money. Whatever. I can't say I wouldn't have done it. I don't know. I'm not an actor. But to the credit of the naysayers, I think it's a very bold move by DC. Only given that DC movies, particularly Batman and Superman, are in a not so good standing right now. I mean, DC. I won't say I'm not gonna. The reason I'm focusing on Batman and Superman is because DC's making some killer movies right now. I mean, I just watched Shazam recently. It was really good. Aquaman was killer. Wonder Woman was killer. Looks like they're about to do another awesome Wonder Woman movie. They're doing some good stuff, and I've even defended Batman v Superman on this show. But I do understand from a lot of people's perspective on how it was not what they expected. I'll just leave it at that without going into great detail. I've even defended Justice League. I listened to Kevin Smith's podcast, Fat Man Beyond. It used to be called Fat Man on Batman. And he talked to... he had a conversation that he shared with one of the head people that was over the Justice League. It might have even been Zack Snyder himself, or I don't know. I can't remember. It was one of the big shots that was over Justice League, and he told him about what would have happened if the internet hadn't gotten so upset and the box office hadn't have done poorly. And it sounded interesting. I can't do it justice because I can't paint a picture as well as Kevin Smith. There's a reason he's a movie maker and a director himself. He's good at telling a story. But basically, the Justice League was going to be like it was. And then part 2 was going to be the Justice League was going to go... Like, they weren't going to wait for Darkseid to come to Earth. They were going to take the fight to him. And it was like in space. Like, they went to, what's it called, Apocalypse. And they were going to face Darkseid. And basically, they went and got their asses kicked. The movie, like, ended on a bad note. Reminiscent of, like, you know, The Empire Strikes Back. Or even Infinity War. And this was before Infinity War. They were going to come back to Earth defeated. Pretty banged up. And Then the third one was when Darkseid comes to Earth to finish them off and take over and, do what Steppenwolf couldn't get done. And then the Justice League was ready for him. And, they won in the end. And again, I'm not doing it justice, but it sounded really freaking cool. Like, it would have been cool. And I can't help but think, like, what if the internet had just chilled out and not been so judgmental? What if the critics had been a little more fair? What movies we could have got? These other two movies sound really cool, but we only got one piece of the puzzle, and a lot of people didn't like it, so we didn't get the other two. That's unfortunate. But enough about Justice League. I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people don't like Batman v Superman. So with that in mind, I think casting Robert Pattinson is a bold move, because you've already got issues with these two characters, and I only say that because, dude, Robert Downey Jr. stayed Iron Man for like, when was the first Iron Man? 2008? Robert Downey Jr. has been Iron Man since 2008. Same guy. Same with, I think there's War Machine. They changed characters or changed actors. I can't remember who else. But, for the most part, everybody stayed the same. And so now you got your two biggest characters in DC, and Affleck didn't even do one solo Batman movie. He did a small appearance in Suicide Squad. He shared the screen with Superman in Batman v Superman, and he shared the screen with all the other Justice League in Justice League. So he didn't even do a Batman movie at all, and he's gone. Henry Cavill did Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and he's gone. And Justice League. So I think that leaves their two biggest showrunners in a state of it leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So they need a home run. I'm not saying they're not going to get one. I'm just saying that's kind of a bold move for them to make, being the state of those characters. Another problem I have with Robert Pattinson, well, let me say something good about him, because I've been ripping on it for a minute. He's got the jaw for Batman. Batman has a very, very chiseled features, but he's not tall enough. He's 6'1". Batman needs to be about 6'4". He's not a basketball player. He don't need to be 6'6" or higher, but he needs to tower over the criminals. He needs to be intimidating. He doesn't need to look up to the criminals. And I know they could probably fix that. They can put risers in his boots or whatever, but he's really going to have to hit the weights. I know this is they say, this is a younger Batman. Well, that's fine. That's cool. That's totally cool. But you got to think, when Batman was younger, he was probably even more buff, because A, he had youth on his side, and 2, he just got back from his becoming Batman's training, where he went to the League of Shadows and became a legit ninja. So yeah, it would stand to reason he would be pretty bulky. It's not impossible. He's got time. It's going to come out in 2021. If he was smart, he's already just in the gym with dietitians and trainers and maybe a little steroidage. I don't know. He's going to put on some muscle, dude. I know they can do stuff with the suit to make him look bulkier, but nobody wants to see a frail, skinny Batman. I'm not saying Robert Pattinson is. I don't know, but I don't know what his body type is. But I know he's not Batman body type. But a lot of celebrities are doing that. Like, everybody that gets picked to play a role, they bulk up. Ben Affleck did it. Hell, everybody's done it. That's played a superhero. You kind of have to. So I don't know. It's not like I'm in his corner. I'm in Batman's corner. I'm happy there's a Batman movie coming out. I'm glad that they're trying to get that ship back on course, and I'm glad it's finally a Batman standalone movie. We haven't had one since the Christopher Nolan ones. When was the last Christopher Nolan Batman movie? Let's see. It would have been The Dark Knight. Rises. 2012. So by the time it comes out in 2021, it will have been almost 10 years since we've had a standalone Batman movie. That's long enough. Okay? I'm happy that there's a Batman movie coming out. I hope it's great. A lot of people have faith in, what's his name? This still says, cast Ben Affleck. You know what would be funny? I don't think this is what's going to happen, but it would be freaking sweet if Robert Pattinson is the younger Batman to Ben Affleck's older Batman. You know, it's common for multiple actresses to play the same person in different stages of their life. Like, even in the original Superman movie, you had, like, young Superman, then teenage Superman, then grown-up Superman, and there were 3 different actors. It would be so trippy. It would be like the ultimate twist if, like, at the end of this movie, it cuts to Ben Affleck, and he's like, and that's the night I became the world's greatest detective. And he's talking to, like, the Flash or, like, some Justice League member. Or make it a post-credit, like even if it's not serious, if it post credits, Ben Affleck, it cuts to him and he's like, all right, story time's over. Let's get back to saving the world. And he's like sitting around the Justice League Hall table. That'd be hilarious. But I don't think that's going to happen. But no, a lot of people have faith in Matt Reeves, and rightfully so. I mean, he's got some really awesome movies under his belt. And from what I understand, he handpicked Robert Pattinson to play Batman. It was between him and that guy that plays the Beast in the current X-Men. His name escapes me, but from what I understand, it came down to those two. But I read that Matt Reeves was gunning for Robert Pattinson all along, that he had him in mind when he was writing the script, before he even reached out to him. One thing, and again, it's so early on that everything is just speculation and rumor, but I did read that the deck is going to be stacked with bad guys. I really caution them not to do that. Let's not forget the source material here, people. Unless it was a special or an annual or something, you know. In the comic books, there was usually only one villain. You only need one. You got a hero and a villain, It works. Now, it's worked with 2 before. I mean, think about Batman, Michael Keaton, and the Joker. It was awesome. Now, in Batman Returns, you had Penguin, Catwoman, and that weird guy that Christopher Walken played. So you had like 2.5 villains. But it worked. They made that work. You can make like 2 villains work if you do it right. But there's no sense in like just clearing out the vault of the rogues gallery of villains. That's not necessary. You oversaturate it with villains. I don't want to see 10 villains in a Batman movie, standalone Batman movie, unless maybe it's a scene where they're walking through Arkham Asylum and they just kind of do teasers as they walk past the cells of the different, you know, you can see like Killer Croc's arm reaching out, or on the door it'll say Nigma, you know, stuff like that. That would be fine. But I mean, for them to be just don't put too many villains in there. Don't pack it full. I've also heard that it's going to be like a noir piece, like when it's going to show off, you know, Batman's detective skills. That's going back to what I was saying about reading the detective comics and how cool they are. I think that would be awesome. They're doing that right. I think putting too many villains in there would be a really bad choice. 1 or 2 would be great. And don't jump straight to the Joker either. There's supposedly, I think nowadays, anytime somebody signs on to something like this, they commit to 3. So there's supposed to be 3, unless it tanks. You know, you could build up to the Joker. You could tease the Joker, maybe in the end of the first or second one. And that be your final big bad. Or whatever. But I don't want to see the Joker on the first one. Unless it's a teaser or something. Or a Easter egg, you know. I've always been overly optimistic, I guess, or maybe pre-programmed to reserve judgment is a better way of putting it when it comes to Batman movies, because I remember when they cast Michael Keaton as Batman, I was like, what? Mr. Mom? Didn't he have a movie called Mr. Mom? And I think he was in Look Who's Talking, or no, that was Bruce Willis. He was in some silly ass movies. And I loved Beetlejuice. But I think the first thing I said when I found out, I was like, Beetlejuice is going to be Batman? What? Are they going to go back to being silly and hokey? And I mean, are they not going to do... I saw that logo, that emblem. I was like, dude, that is wicked. It's like that looks more like the Dark Knight than I'm reading in the comics. But Michael Keaton, are they not going to be... Are they not going to be serious with this? Couldn't have been more wrong. To this day, it holds up. Go back and watch the original Batman with Michael Keaton. And Batman Returns. Both great movies. So, you know... And I remember kind of the same way when I heard about Heath Ledger, but it seems like, if I remember correctly, I saw the promo pic of him as the Joker about the same time I found out that he was playing the Joker. And as soon as I saw a picture of him as the Joker, I was like, whoa, that's going to be good. And it was, obviously. And, you know, we think about what's gone wrong in the Batman franchise, but think about the freaking colossal home runs. Yeah, we've had some stinkers. Batman and Robin, Batman Forever. Some might argue, you know, even Batman v Superman and Justice League. But dude, I mean, hello, you know, Batman Returns, all 3 Christopher Nolan movies, killer. You know, I think we've got more good than we do bad, and the good ones are way good. Some of the bad ones are way bad, but we need a good Batman movie. The DC universe needs a home run right now. And as long as they keep it simple, like this, the simplicity of those comics is what makes it good. The moments where Batman's just brooding, standing atop some tower with the lightning flashing in the background and the bat symbol. You know, they did that in the Michael Keaton Batman. Like there was a couple moments where he flew the plane up through the clouds, the Batjet, and went in front of the moon to like make his own little, you know, little stuff like that. The moments where like he's just standing there and his cape is like wisping in the wind, wisping. I think I overemphasized the H there. I don't know. I think it needs to be simple. Sometimes less is more. Don't cram 16 movies into 2 hours. Leave them wanting more, you know. And for goodness sake, if you're going to use CGI, please get somebody from Marvel. Pay them whatever the price to get them to jump ship and play for the other team. Because this CGI with DC ain't working, dude. It is not working. Steppenwolf's stupid face is all I gotta say. And I guess that's all I got. That's how I feel about Robert Pattinson. I'm reserving judgment for now. I remain optimistic. Cautiously optimistic, I guess is a good way to put it. Again, my initial knee-jerk reaction was unfavorable, but when I had time to cool down and I really started thinking about things, I'm hopeful this is going to be a good movie. What do y'all think? Is there no way a sparkling vampire could ever be Batman? Is it just unredeemable? Or are there... you know, a lot of people haven't seen his other movies. I've heard he's done like a killer job on some stuff. And I haven't even really seen Twilight, but I've seen enough, you know, just in what I've seen of it here and there. It's not cool. But I haven't watched his other movies. I've heard he's done some awesome movies. Hopefully this one will be awesome too. But you can tell us what you think by calling 662-305-9783. That's our voicemail line. Nobody's going to pick up but an answering service, and you can talk all you want. Let us know what you think. You can email us at popculture4real. That's the number 4real at gmail.com. and be like, dude, you're crazy. This is going to be horrible. Or, dude, you make some good points. This might be okay. I don't know. But I'm gonna go and see, I think my pizza's here. Shadow Stalkers Paranormal is a non-profit organization. A level-headed team with a knowledgeable background who tries to explain and debunk, not taking things solely as paranormal.
They try to help their clients with an understanding about the paranormal.
Shadow Stalkers Paranormal also gives back to the community by way of sponsorships, such as this one, fundraisers for historical sites and individuals with terminal illnesses.
They strive to make their team better and make a difference.
You can find them on Facebook, facebook.com/ShadowStalkersParanormal 38821. They're ready to believe you. All right, this is an ambush outro.
An ambushed outro.
Yeah, you had no idea.
I know.
You never know when you come over here what you're going to get roped into.
I was coming to watch Raw and
we're going to watch Raw. Don't worry about that.
Food.
But I need to get a quick outro on this podcast real quick. And I've already talked to myself on here once, so it was kind of weird, man. Like
hey, Mark, hi.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you change your voice?
No, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know, when you have split personality.
People already think I have split personality, so I might as well
one of your voices has to
flesh it out a little bit. But yeah, there was a couple things I wanted to talk to you about anyway, and why not record it?
Yeah.
What do you when I came out here today, I started getting everything ready for tonight, and there was an advertisement on for Krypton. Have you watched any of that? What do you know about that?
No, I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I couldn't get into it. But
right season
now,
2 looks like it's going to be awesome.
This one, like Lobo,
Doomsday, Brainiac, which I don't know which Brainiac. There's like 30 of them.
I don't know. You know, they added one of the Brainiacs to the Supergirl show.
Yeah, it was like the robot
I haven't watched
one.
it. I just finished Legends of Tomorrow, the season 4.
Well, there's another one out now.
Yeah,
they're doing one now.
Well, I watch on Netflix, so I'm a season behind.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
a season behind on Supergirl. I'm a season behind on Arrow. I don't even think they put Flash up yet, but I'm a season.
I'm caught up on Flash.
Have you watched Black Mirror?
No, but Kelly watched it the
watched
other night and said it's really
the new
good.
3 episodes.
Bandersnatch.
The Bandersnatch is like a game. It's like you. It's like, you remember those how-to books?
Yeah.
From when you were a kid, turn to page 34?
Yeah.
That's what Bandersnatch is, except you use a remote control.
I had a Star Wars cassette and book when I was a kid, and when you heard R2-D2's little bloop, 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 that meant to turn the page.
I had that.
Man,
but I had it on a record.
wore
You
that
remember
thing out.
Those little fold-up case record players?
Well,
I had one of those. And I had the Star Wars, and I can even tell you what it was. Ewoks joined the fight. It was the end of Return of the Jedi from when the Ewok. But it was called Star Wars. Ewoks joined the fight.
Nice.
And R2-D2 would be, now you turn the page.
Going back to Krypton real quick, because I'm interested in jumping in on season 2, because it looks like they're really.
I'm wondering
picking
how
up the
much
pace.
you have to watch of season 1.
I don't know, because is Superman even in it? He's a baby, right?
No.
Or he's even born
He's
yet?
not. The episodes
So
I
who's the
watched,
hero?
it was
His dad?
Superman's dad, but he's not really a hero either.
But on
He's
the
kind of a
commercial-
anti-hero.
On the ad I saw just a little while ago, it said like a hero in training or in development or something, and it showed like a teenage boy. I guess it's his dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, his dad. It starts out like his grandfather gets banished for some reason. I can't even remember. Not Superman's grandfather. Superman's dad's grandfather. So Superman's great grandfather gets banished for something, and the parents are just kind of like, okay, we're not getting in this kind of deal. And then, and Superman's dad, what's his name?
Jor-El?
Jor-El, yeah. Jor-El.
Yeah, because they're like son
Jor-El.
of kneel before me, son of Jor-El.
Yeah. But anyway, he's like kind of a rebel, kind of a wild child, sort of, I guess. But I hadn't seen but just a couple of episodes, so I'm rather lost on it.
It's just kind of weird that. They can retcon anything any way they
is
want it.
about
Like
Superman, because this guy comes from the future.
Okay.
Earth, back to Krypton to tell Jor-El.
That makes more sense
I
because
don't
you
know
got all
exactly.
Superman's villains fighting Superman's like dad and granddad or whatever.
Basically, yeah.
So that's kind of weird. But I mean, I see how they need connective tissue to the main body of work because you're just throwing out these crazy things you know nothing about, basically.
Have you also read, though? I also read today that James Gunn is going to be, I don't know how true it is, but I read that James Gunn is going to be kind of taking head lead for DC now, the DC universe. And, like, he's going to be kind of the boss man, kind of like how you said Kevin Feige. He's kind of like, I think James Gunn is kind of taking his spot now for DC. You know, like what Kevin Feige does for Marvel.
Exactly.
James Gunn is doing that for DC. So we may see a complete DC reboot again.
Man, I
As
watched
far as the
episode 1
cinematic
of
stuff.
Swamp Thing, and it was like really good. And then an article came out that it got
Did
canceled.
you read it though?
The article?
It got canceled, but they're probably not going to actually cancel it.
Well, they're going to finish
It didn't
showing
have anything
all the
to
shows.
do, yeah, it didn't have really anything to do with like the fan base or anything like that or the ratings.
It was money.
It was they were filming in North Carolina, and some kind of deal come up with North Carolina that wanted more money to film there or something.
Well, I heard it was about the taxes. Like you get tax
something
breaks.
in taxes. Yeah.
You get big tax breaks for filming in certain states. It's like an incentive to bring your business there. And from what I read, they screwed up. They used up all their tax break money on
it was
other
something like
projects, and it wasn't allocated correctly. And so basically, what I read, they were going to do 12 or 14 episodes, and then they just turned like the 12th or 10th episode into the finale.
Yeah.
So they're finishing it out.
Well,
but you're
I've
not gonna
also
see
heard
any
that they
more.
may still do.
If somebody else picks it up, yeah. I mean,
Well, they said they just may. Well, it's
all
all
about
going
the
to be
money.
under that DCU anyway. So it doesn't. I mean, I've heard that they'll probably just move locations and film somewhere else.
Atlanta. Hell, Louisiana. That's where
Everything's in
it's supposed to be
Atlanta, though.
anyway.
Everything's in Atlanta now.
I know.
I mean, there's so much filmed in Sequoia where we went, where me and my wife went vacationing that time. Where Walking Dead is being filmed.
Right, yeah, I saw all the pictures
Like
on
all
Facebook.
that land around there too is nothing but it's. I mean, everything's been filmed.
But I mean, if they could just actually film it in Louisiana, because that's where the show takes place. That's where they're trying to make it look like.
yeah.
So just actually go there. You're not far if you go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But dude, episode 1 was good. Like it
I
was
haven't
really
seen it,
good. I was impressed. I was like, man, this is gonna be awesome. And then that same day that I watched it is when I heard
I'm
it.
looking forward to seeing what Disney does because
Oh,
they said they're
dude.
putting, you know, the Netflix Marvel shows like Jessica Jones and Daredevil and all that. All those were good,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't like excellent. You know, they wasn't like the quality of the movies. You
I
know,
really
the
liked
Marvel
Daredevil
movies.
a lot. I liked the Punisher both seasons.
And but Disney's actually going to put like 10 times the amount of money into it than Netflix is. So it's
yeah,
like,
I'm
you know,
actually.
that's
I
where you're
mean,
gonna
man,
get
this
your
Disney
big
thing is
deals.
going to be. Because like this is the thing Disney has on everybody. It's not just all these intellectual properties, like ones you don't even think about, but they have so much freaking money just
Well, you look
besides all that.
You could look it up. Well,
I mean, the theme parks alone and the movies and.
oh yeah.
I mean, you look
Well,
at
you look it
Netflix,
up
and they're
right
like
now.
they're the streaming giant right now, but they don't have a lot of intellectual property. Like
No.
Orange is the New Black was real popular, that's theirs. Stranger Things is awesome, that's theirs,
Yeah.
and a few others, but they're basically having to pay
Well, Netflix
to.
is kind of. I think they're kind of going to get into more making their own movies more than TV shows because
They have to. How are
what
you
is
going
it,
to
the
compete
Bird
with that
Box? Is that what it
juggernaut?
was called?
As big as Disney is, dude, all the stuff that encompasses.
Well, they
I mean,
said like
and it's like $6.99 a month. It's cheaper than Netflix.
by ratings go, that the Bird Box wasn't that the name of it? With Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
They
I've
said
heard
that,
of
it had the same amount of ratings as like a #1 box office movie would have.
I think we're finna see we're fixing to see
Yeah.
the streaming wars.
Yeah, I think
Begun
so.
the streaming wars they have.
But I've got Hulu, and man,
But dude, you got Netflix,
sometimes
you got
I
Hulu,
like Hulu. But
I got Amazon Prime Video because I wanted Amazon Prime for free shipping. But like now, from what I understand, AT&T is looking at starting a streaming service.
Yeah.
All the networks
Amazon's
are
got it,
starting a streaming
YouTube's
service.
got it.
All the movie, like Paramount and New Line
Amazon's
Cinema,
putting huge money into
they're all
making-
wanting to start a streaming service for all their films and stuff. And I'm like, dude, people aren't going to be able to pay
Amazon Prime has that
for like 12 apps per month. On
what's it called? Good Omens
yeah,
with David Tennant. And,
they've got The Tick too. That's
yeah,
their
and
own.
they've got their big thing's going to be the Lord of the Rings series too.
Yeah. Well, see,
That's
Amazon's got
Amazon.
stupid money aside from
But YouTube actually
the
has
streaming
a
thing is
pretty
just an
decent
incentive. It's not
series.
even, people just get Amazon Prime because they want 2-day free shipping.
Yeah.
And that's just an add-on.
worth it 'cause
but
it's
they've
cheap,
got
too.
they've got crazy money, dude. I mean, that dude,
Yeah.
what his divorce buyout was like $1 trillion or something crazy.
It's crazy.
I mean, it was just ridiculous.
He was bidding for a painting, and like it was way up in the millions, right? And I think it was Chris Pratt, maybe that was bidding, that was having a
Against
bidding war,
Amazon?
And didn't know it was the guy from Amazon until later. But anyway, Chris Pratt got outbid by quite a lot. Is what he says. I don't even remember what it was. If it was a painting or like some type of artifact from some movie or something, maybe I don't remember. But
See, I think that's what you got to watch out for, and this will be a good segue into the wrestling. You got to watch out for those people that are rich because of different reasons. Like Netflix is made money just from Netflix.
yeah,
Disney,
they made money from everything.
in every direction. Like Amazon,
Everything.
they don't make their money from selling streaming service. They
You
make their
go into,
trillions of elsewhere.
Like you
know?
think about Disney, like okay, just like you said, get rid of the whole just the licenses that they have on stuff. Walk into Walmart and see how many products. Not even just going through toys, but not just counting the toys, that the Star Wars toys and the Disney toys.
If you
and
took
the Marvel
Disney everything
toys.
out of Walmart would
But
be
you look at what they've got,
the
like
garden center.
Like, I work for Coca-Cola, and I've been putting up Dr. Pepper. And our Dr. Pepper, like, we have this big, huge display in one of our stores that's got Spider-Man swinging above it.
Yep.
Because they're promoting the
Far
Spider-Man
From
movie
Home.
with Dr. Pepper. And, I mean...
If you took anything tied to Disney out of a store, you would be
empty
shocked.
shelves.
Yeah. Like, I bought some Ziploc bags, like quart-size Ziploc bags to put leftovers
Toy
in.
Story or something.
No, it had Star Wars
Yeah.
on it. It's
Crazy.
like garbage bags, and they got like Disney.
And you think
something.
about it, think about their market too, because they've got the older people who are Marvel and the Star Wars fans, but then you've got kids, little boys and little girls that are going to be watching Toy Story and the new Aladdin and the new Lion King and that kind of stuff, and every one of those will have a million toys come out and sponsorships on stuff, and like you said, Ziploc bags.
I think we're fixing to see the end of like satellite television. It's
I think
just going to
so.
be all internet.
Streaming, yeah, everything.
But now, like I have DirecTV because my internet sucks, so I have to. And they're kind of smart with what they're doing because they're like integrating everything. Like if you had DirecTV and didn't even have a dish, you could still watch everything.
I watch.
I mean, dude, I can watch
I don't
stuff
have a
on my
satellite.
phone that is recorded on my DVR through the internet now.
I watch. I've got HBO Go, but I don't
Yeah.
have any kind of satellite. So I mean, I just pay for HBO Go. Or
Yeah, you
actually,
you can get
I'm not gonna say I'm
DirecTV.
bootlegging it because it's being paid for, but like
Wow.
it's the same account.
Have you ever seen that
It's somebody
that
else,
video
but-
that went viral a while back? And it was like there's only one HBO Go account,
and
everybody
like,
shares the
everybody
password.
shares it.
Because like somebody changed the baseline password, and like everybody's calling each other like, "Dude, what's the password?" And they're like, "Well, let me call so and so.
I didn't
What's the?
know.
Let me
What's
call
your
so
new
and so." And it like
password,
went back
man?
to like the patient zero that had the one account.
And that's kind of how. But I watch HBO Go, and then like actually there's a lot of free TV out there now that's as good as what you'd get on satellite. There's Pluto, like one of my friends showed me the other day, Pluto TV, and it's old shows, but like it's like 1,000 channels, man, that it's just called Pluto TV, and you don't even have to sign up for it. You just turn it on like I've got a Roku. You just turn it on and find what channel you want to watch.
Oh, if it's coming with
watch
the Roku,
it.
it's probably legit. But you got to be careful. Like,
It's old school.
if you just
It's
Google
old school movies
like a
and
TV
stuff.
show or movie, like they'll give you like bootleg links. Like you,
Oh yeah,
you're like,
but
oh,
you gotta
this
be
is
careful with that.
Yeah, you're watching them. You're like, man, this is awesome that they're just giving this away. And then you're like, oh wait, this is illegal.
This is illegal.
The
But
feds are on their
this Pluto
way.
thing is actually legal. I mean, but they've got like 6 MTV channels, but they're not the same MTV channels that you watch now online. Like one of them's MTV, and all it shows is MTV Made. You remember that show Made? And like one of them, all it shows is like Robin Big and the Fantasy Factory and stuff all day long. But which, I mean, if you turn on MTV right now, there's probably like it's probably either going to be catfished or ridiculousness. I mean, that's all they do anyway. So
The reason I said that was a segue into wrestling is because we were talking about companies and people that are rich, not just on one thing. Like, you know, they're like AEW and WWE is going to be the buy all the billionaires. But the thing is, Vince McMahon just has WWE money for the most part. I mean, I'm sure he has like stocks and blah. Fixing to do XFL again and all rich.
Yeah.
But this other guy, that from what I understand,
he's
correct me where I'm
basically
wrong.
what Ted Turner was.
He was already super rich, and he
Yeah.
gave his son like, I don't know, here's $1 billion, go start a wrestling company. Have fun
Basically,
with it.
that's
Is that not
from what
right?
I heard. He gave him an actual $1 billion to start with.
Yeah, and
It's
if
like,
it
they
flops,
didn't even know all the
they
money
just
he
write it
had.
off. If it
Oh,
flops,
yeah.
you know,
Well, this guy
it's a
owns
win-win.
he owns the Jaguars, I think, and then he owns like a soccer football team. And then, I mean, this guy's a billionaire, like big time billionaire. And but the AEW stuff, I mean,
Everybody likes
Here's
it.
what
I've
I'm-
seen of it. I like it. It's
You
just,
know what I
if
think is
when they
good?
get that TV deal, man, they're gonna be killer.
yeah, and they got it on TNT.
Ooh,
Which was one of the original homes for wrestling for WCW back in the day. So, well,
when does that start?
here's what I'm hoping comes out of AEW, and it doesn't really completely, for me, it doesn't really just. It's not that so much. I want AEW to make it, you know, because I do want to see them make it, but I also want to see the WWE actually go in and say, man, we've got to step our game up and create a better product. I
They've
mean,
already
competition
changed
is
the way
good
they
for
do
anything,
business
you know?
already because they're basically paying people to sit at home right now just so they don't go to AEW.
Yeah,
They're literally paying probably millions of dollars, you know, collectively
well, I mean, AEW has some
for wrestlers to sit at the house.
AEW and now New Japan have some big names. I mean, they've got Jericho, of course, which is probably the biggest for either one, as far as your casual wrestling fans.
Yeah, but check this out. Think about it this way: the ones they got, like I think this is where Impact messed up a little bit. Which I'm still pro Impact Wrestling. I like what was it called before Impact?
TNA.
TNA. I still love that show and all. It's a good product. But I think where they messed up, they're like, let's just get all the old WWE guys.
Yeah.
Well, these aren't the guys in AEW aren't just the old
Oh,
WWE
no.
guys. They're
Oh, no,
the
there's a
most
bunch of indie guys and New
well, the
Japan
ones that
guys,
are from
so-
WWE are the underutilized ones from WWE.
Exactly.
Like the ones that WWE did not use correctly. They're taking them and going, well,
There's
we know
always-
what to do with them.
the main
we
one
put
that
Cody
I-
Rhodes at the top, man, and he's killing.
When TNA was big, the main one that I saw that they did that way with TNA, like you said, they bought a bunch of old guys, you know, from WWE.
Yeah,
And
you know
they-
him from WWE, so come check him out over here.
Yeah, and the big thing was they turned around and took those guys and automatically put like titles on them and put them in the main event, like, and it just pushed their guys back. But the one I did see that they brought up was like Christian. You know, Christian wasn't just a huge star in WWE before he went to TNA, and they turned him into a bigger star. And then when he went back to WWE, they
Yep.
kind of played off of that.
They let him shine in TNA. And like the wrestlers from WWE that are in AEW, man, they're just crushing
like right
it.
now, yeah.
Like that's the reason
Like-
Cody was so pissed off and wanted to leave
Like
WWE
Ambrose.
is because they were holding him down, and they wanted him. They wanted him to keep doing that Stardust thing, and he was like, "But I want."
And then you take those guys,
and then you put him
and
over
throw
there and you
them
let
with
him
the
go,
best.
which he's like a main guy in the company anyway, right? Like
Oh
behind
yeah,
the
he's
scenes.
kind of like he's kind
their-
of like. I wouldn't say he really runs the show, but he runs the wrestling side of
And
the
he's
show.
killing
You know
it,
what I
dude.
mean?
That
Oh,
character,
yeah.
that thing with him and his brother at the end of the match. I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of like misty-eyed for a
Yeah.
minute there.
That-
I was like, I'm
mean,
not
that's-
crying, you're
that's
crying.
what they're doing is storylines, and supposedly Billy Gunn is one of their head writers, and he's got experience. You know, Jim Ross is kind of a big deal there. I mean, who wouldn't want Jim Ross? If you were opening a wrestling company, why would you not?
Okay,
want
now
Jim
I saw
Ross?
him
I
on
mean,
there. Is this a permanent thing, or is that just a
No,
one?
this is forever.
Oh.
He's also got a big. He's also got a big part backstage too.
Man, oh man,
Like
see,
so.
WWE might be. I mean,
Well, you take those
could
guys.
this be
all right,
the? Could
you
this
take
be
the
the what
guys-
brings the giant down in
You
WWE?
you take the recognition of like Chris Jericho and now Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. You take that recognition.
Oh, he's gonna kill it there.
But then-
he was underutilized.
Well, you take that. Plus, you take the best guys from New Japan and the best guys from that Lucha Underground show, and that's basic. And then the best guys from Ring of Honor and all the indies. Basically, they just went out and said, "Hey, we're going to get the best guys everywhere and put them on a show." And
Dude, this is so reminiscent of the early WCW days in a good way. Though.
exactly. I mean,
Because they're letting their luchador and their New
Yeah.
Japan like divisions really shine.
Yeah.
With all that stuff. Why does WWE like tell them to tone it down? Like all
They
that
water
high
'em
flying
down.
crazy
I know
stuff the
it's- I'm
luchadors
sure
do.
it's for-
They tell them to tone it down and not
I'm
do
sure
all
it's
that.
for injuries.
But AEW is like, dude, freaking turn it up. Don't
I mean,
turn
like
it
one
down.
of the few shows that I actually really enjoyed, and it's kind of gone downhill lately, was that 205.
Yeah.
Man, when
They
back,
screwed that
back
up.
about 6 or 8 months ago, that 205 Live, man, they had some of the best matches. And then of course NXT, but it's ran by Triple H basically. It's Triple H and Regal and Jeremy Borash that used to be with TNA. They're kind of running all that stuff, I believe. And man, I mean, they're letting NXT guys, those guys. The only bad part now is they've kind of lost some of them to the main roster.
Yeah.
So they're kind of rebuilding right now.
Do you think things are going to be better once Vince McMahon goes to XFL and turns the
If he
reins
does
over to?
that, I think it
He
will.
has to, dude.
I mean
how is
Triple
he
H
gonna-
to me, Triple H knows. Vince McMahon knew the business in the 80s and 90s, and Vince McMahon he knew the product in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
But it's like he didn't grow with the times. Triple H knows the product now, you know, and with Triple H being in charge, you know, I don't see it being bad for business.
Everybody
I mean,
drink.
it can't go downhill as far as a wrestling fan's concerned. It can't really go downhill.
Yeah, I mean the proof's in the pudding, man. NXT is a great product. From what I've
Yes,
seen.
exactly. I mean, and that is one of the things they let him do too.
Can he
is-
handle
is-
WWE? I mean, maybe.
Oh yeah, I think he could. I mean, there's more shockers to NXT. There's more pure matches. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's not watered down like they do on the main roster. Like Ricochet.
God. 3 hours
I
of
told you,
programming
Ricochet
is
is one of my-
watered down.
Oh yeah. But Ricochet has been one of my favorites. You know, I told you that. But
Yeah.
like on the main roster, they've toned him down so much to where he's like just any other luchador style, any other high flyer. He's not. They don't let him show off what makes him special. So of course he's not going to be in a main event spot because they're just not letting him show what made him special to begin with. And then, but I think Triple H will kind of let those guys. And I think another bad thing about WWE is the written promos that they do. Like you don't write what a guy says because
It takes the soul out of it.
yeah, they don't. I mean, it's some of these guys are actors, but for the most part, these guys are athletes that talk.
Some of 'em.
They don't want to.
Some of them can talk.
Oh yeah,
Some
I
of
mean,
them
but
can't.
you also that's another thing they're missing is managers. You know, if you had a guy that couldn't
Valets,
cut a
yeah.
promo back in the day, you added a manager. Now you don't. Now they don't
Dude,
do that.
look at Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. That's the perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Let Brock
Brock
be the
Lesnar can't
muscle.
talk. He needs to shut
And Paul
up,
Heyman
so-
is the best talker, arguably, in the business right now.
Probably, yeah.
So before we get off of wrestling, I know we're coming up on 30 minutes now. I wanted to talk to you about the what they call the Super Showdown.
Yeah, the Saudi show.
Yeah, the Saudi Arabia show. Which I noticed the last two they did. They've done 3 now, right? Their Ultimate Royal Rumble, and then there was something else.
There was 2 of these. This is the second one of these.
Like they were calling it, they were saying Saudi Arabia, but when all that controversy happened, now they just call it like the name of whatever. They don't
the venue.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Belize.
I think they did that last
What's
time
the name of it?
because of that.
Whatever the state that is called.
Yeah.
They don't call it by the country.
Yeah.
I guess they're trying.
But you
to
know they didn't allow. There was a rumor come out that they were going to let the women wrestle. And they were supposed to be 2 or 4 of the women to go over there, but they didn't. They didn't allow that. And I know they made a big deal about Renee Young last time doing commentary.
That's right. She was there.
Yeah, and she was at the last one, the Rumble, I think, maybe whichever one was second. She wasn't at the first one, but she was at the second one. And they made a big deal about how they actually allowed her to come in and work, but you know they have to keep pretty much covered up completely.
It's just how crazy how people with just that much insane amount of money can just buy anything.
Yeah, well,
including Shawn Michaels' retirement.
I think they give them
like,
$1 billion.
It's like I want
for these shows.
I want this match and this match and this match. He's retired. I don't care. Pay him whatever it takes to get him here.
I think they pretty much give WWE $1 billion to come there and put.
Goldberg wrestled. You know, the Undertaker's wrestled him. Shawn Michaels. I didn't think he'd ever come out of retirement.
Dude,
and now they're talking about doing one more
match-wise,
to make up for that one because it was a bad match or whatever.
Yeah, well, match-wise, this whole pay-per-view, it wasn't that great. That was me.
Oh,
it wasn't that great match-wise. I mean, it was kind of cool to watch Seth Rollins beat the crap out of Brock Lesnar. That was kind of cool. And then Goldberg, you know, he took a bad concussion
on the ring post,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he
I heard that whole match was the shits.
That happened.
They cut it short.
Early.
Okay, okay. See, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean his concussion happened. But
I just
early,
read online that the whole match was the shits.
After that, it was just pretty much an Undertaker.
Because it was supposed to be a 20-minute match, and it was like 7 minutes.
I mean, Goldberg was getting no defense because his brain was somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, he probably didn't even know he was in a match.
Dang, what do you do about that?
But did you read about Matt Riddle?
No.
Like, he was messing with Gold. You know Matt Riddle, right?
Only thing I've heard was...
He's on NXT. He's actually a good wrestler. I mean, besides his MMA background. But he keeps claiming that he's going to stop Brock Lesnar from cashing in. And I think that's just him trying to hype himself up. I mean, I understand. He's trying to make a name. But, like, he trolled Goldberg the whole time, man. Like, Goldberg blocked him a week before. And I guess it made him mad. It made Matt Riddle mad. So he trolled him the whole time. But he didn't know that he had a concussion either. So he kind of went back later and apologized. I said, man, I didn't know he had a concussion. But he did. He trolled him. He's like, man, this guy can't wrestle. He's like, he wrestled 2 minutes at a time for all these years, hadn't had a match, and he's 50 years old, and just, what was he, 54 years old?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
dude, I was so pissed off because last Monday, you weren't here, right? No, you weren't here.
No.
It was just like me and Sean, maybe? Like just a couple people. And the big thing was Undertaker was coming out. So,
yeah, and they gave him like 2 minutes.
Dude, I'm like...
Then they did Goldberg the same way the next night.
3 hours. Well, you could tell they were out of time.
And they rushed him, yeah.
Like, he didn't even get the word peace of rest in peace out before the next show started.
They actually went online.
And I'm like, you had 3 hours to get this in. That
they
this
figured
is the
that out,
Undertaker.
Because they went on YouTube.
Everybody's tuned in to see this, and you can't even time it to where he gets 5 minutes to talk.
But instead, you're going to give... Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins another 3 minutes to talk back and forth, and you're going to promote this. You're going to show us everything that happened the last 5 weeks.
I mean, is WWE a sinking ship
right
now, or is it just a slump and things are going to pick back up like always?
I hope it picks back up, and that's what I was saying.
I hope this forces them to have to make some major changes.
One reason I hope that AEW takes off is so that WWE will have to sit back and think. And
that's what made the Attitude Era, dude. That's the best time in wrestling.
Or we're not going to make
was the Monday Night Wars, where you had the Attitude Era. came from that.
And I
Because
don't
they
think
had
they're
to.
going head to head. I think AEW. At first, they said they were going to go on Wednesday nights, which was probably not the best night to go on because that's when NXT comes on. And AEW fans and NXT fans are probably going to be the same fans to start with anyway.
Good point.
So they, because even if you don't like WWE, most people that don't like
I think
WWE
like a Thursday
love
night would
NXT.
be good.
Well, they're thinking Friday nights because SmackDown's fixing to move to Thursdays.
Friday nights. I mean,
Or maybe
DVRs
no.
and everything changed.
I
Stuff,
take that
but-
back. It is Thursday night that they're going to.
Now,
SmackDown
I think there's
is
no
moving to
perfect.
Friday nights.
Oh.
And that's why they didn't want the Friday night spot because
It is weird to have
SmackDown is
Monday Night
moving
Raw
back to
Monday
Fridays.
and then Tuesday SmackDown, and they're both live now, both on the same network.
Yeah. Well,
it
see,
seems
they're
like-
moving. Fox bought SmackDown. And see, they're moving it to Friday nights when it goes to Fox, which I think is still like a few months away.
That'll probably be better.
Well, Fox is making
It's
some
too
pretty heavy
much.
demands, from what I've heard. They won't, and they said they want to run it like it's like they want to run stuff all week long, not just. They don't want to just say, okay, we're going to do SmackDown, but they want SmackDown to basically be its own brand. This whole talent swap that they're doing right now, the 5 from here and five can come from Raw to SmackDown, and 5 from they'll. Fox isn't wanting to do that. They're wanting like their SmackDown guys. These guys belong to us, and they're wanting to run it more like a sports show. They're wanting to do more interviews, like behind the scene type interviews and stuff like that. And they're saying that they may even like run like segments through the week, like during other shows. They might come in and have an interview with such and such
You
about
know
the match.
one
that's
cool
coming
thing that
up.
SmackDown does, and I don't know if other shows do this too sometimes, but when they go to commercial break, the show continues in a little window to the side.
I like the way they do that. Yeah, they don't do it every
They
time,
don't
but they
cut
do it a lot.
to a
yeah.
commercial. They do
I like
them at the
that.
same time.
I like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Pay
But
attention.
that really
Facebook.
only works with sports.
Facebook's like
if you think about it.
killing me with the freaking advertisement
Yeah,
videos.
I mean that really only works with sports because it's really gonna mess up because you can't really have a show and a commercial going.
Yeah,
at
that's
the same
true. You'll
time.
miss what they're saying.
I mean,
but-
sports it doesn't really any kind of sports show you can do that.
yeah.
with.
So you still
And they may have
see what's
stole that
happening.
from like football or something first. I can't remember. I don't know if football does that or not. I'm sure they probably got some. But I mean, that's where WWE makes their money. They sell their
Yeah,
own
that's why they do the
advertisements.
freaking 3-hour Raw.
Yeah,
which is,
because they sell commercials for
it's
3
just too
hours.
much.
I mean,
Nobody wants to watch something for 3 hours.
No,
I mean, maybe a movie.
and it's killing them.
if it's really good.
killing them to put on 3 hours worth of product. If
It's watering it down so bad.
to me, they should have done, and I guess I understand why they don't. But to me, instead of having, okay, you've got, if you watched everything WWE has, you've got 9 hours of wrestling in a week just to watch everything that WWE's doing. Because you've got 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, you've got an hour of 205 Live, an hour of NXT, and then an hour of NXT UK. So that's 9 hours of wrestling you're going to watch just to watch WWE's programming, you know?
It's too much, man.
And I mean,
Too
I
much
watch
of
a lot
anything
wrestling,
is. I don't care
but-
how much you like it. 9 hours a week.
But when you start cutting into it, like me, like the real wrestling fans like us, Raw is what I cut out. SmackDown is what I cut out. I'm watching NXT
Dude, 9
every
times
week.
out of 10, when we're out here watching Raw, we're just bullshitting and it's in the background. Now, if something cool happens, we shut up
We
and
shut
check
up
it
and watch it,
and turn
yeah.
the volume up.
But that rarely happens.
But like,
now.
I'm thinking about
I mean-
tonight while we're watching Raw over here on the computer playing that Super Showdown thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not worth it either.
I'm not gonna
Super
pay for it.
Showdown. I mean, but I know. But well, I mean, I've got the network. We can always jump on the network and watch.
Yeah,
it.
I've totally
But
got your password.
It still is. It's just not worth watching. I mean, there was no. To me, I call them throwaway pay-per-views because even though they
A
put
$1
the
billion
big-
throwaway paper.
it is. I mean, because nothing happens. If you think
They
about
paid
it,
$1 billion for a
they're
filler.
not going to have any major title changes. They're not going to have any major storylines continue on there because, for one thing, it comes on in America on a Friday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Why do they do that? Just do a delay or whatever.
Well, that's their thing. I mean, that's their. I mean, not many people from America watched it Friday morning at 10 a.m. I didn't. I watched it Saturday all throughout the day. I just start.
So if
and
you've
watch
got the
for a little
WWE
while.
Network, you can watch it anytime you want.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
archived. Okay.
yeah. Once it starts, yeah.
Before we get out of here, we're over the 30-minute mark now. I wanted to ask you, have you watched that Nosferatu show?
I haven't, but isn't it the next? I think it's the next episode. I've seen commercials on it. Isn't it the guy from
It's Stephen King's
Star
son.
Trek? Isn't he like one of the main,
Yeah.
the main guy on this next one?
Yeah, he played Spock, right?
Spock, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was him.
It's a good
'Cause
show.
It showed a real quick glimpse of it.
I've
and
seen
then it
2
showed him as an
episodes
old
now.
man.
He is the old man.
Okay. Well, I thought that was him, and that's a part for the
It's-
show because he's a good actor.
It's going to be one of those shows I think I'm either not going to like it or it's going to take me 3 or 4 episodes, which is fine.
To get into
some
it.
of my favorite shows ever, it took me like 3 episodes
Yeah, I'm the same way.
to really. I mean, I wasn't hooked on Game of Thrones on the first episode or 2.
The first episode of Game of Thrones wasn't that great.
Breaking Bad, I was like 3 or 4 in before I really
Yeah.
dug in, you know. So that's fine, but
Well,
I
also,
really like the
you have to
theme
get
and
to
the
know the characters
tone
a
and
little bit.
Yeah,
You
you
have
got
to take time to get to know the
get enough time to
characters.
care about them. But the theme and the tone and everything, and of course it's AMC, and they don't really screw things up too bad with shows. I mean, they got a pretty
Well,
good
are you looking
average.
forward? Are you even planning on watching the Game of Thrones spinoff?
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's still a year away.
Yeah,
but
for
at
sure.
least a year away.
I'm all about it, dude. I'm doing the books now.
I know, but some people got
No, we'll be
so
for a
mad.
while.
Some people got so mad about the ending.
We
Well,
talked
this
about
last
it on
season of
here
Game of Thrones. I
on
mean,
this episode at the intro. We talked about the internet outrage on Game of Thrones, and I thought it was just a little. I think it's
only
misplaced.
thing
It's misguided. We didn't want the show to end, so
That's
no matter
part
how
of
it
it.
ended, they're not going to be happy because it ended.
That's it. I mean, that's a big part of it. And the only complaint I had about this whole season was it was a little rushed. I
A
think
little.
maybe they should have went.
It was
I think
super
they should have
rushed.
went the regular full 10 episodes last season, ended on the long night, and then went a full 10 episodes this season, and took their time with it.
Yeah. Or I mean, this is your last. Hurrah! I mean, milk that cow, dude.
Why
Freaking
not?
do
I mean, it's
do 10
like- it's not
episodes
like
and then do
HBO
a
didn't
movie
want- it's
that
not
you
like
show in
HBO wouldn't
theaters.
want another 6 or
like
7
the grand
episodes.
finale is
I
like a
mean-
2-hour feature film.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Don't
I mean,
leave the
it's
money
not
on
like-
the table.
It's not like HBO wouldn't want another 6 or 7 episodes. Like, it's not like they couldn't. HBO would have said, "No, we're not going that long with it."
Yeah, but the 2
And
guys,
HBO wanted 5
or a couple
spin-offs.
of main guys that do Game of Thrones have now been commissioned to do something big. Is it Star?
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, it's not Star Wars.
Yes,
It is Star
I think
Wars.
it's one of the spin-offs of Star Wars, I believe, or something, maybe.
I can't remember. They've moved on to something.
Yeah, something
greener
big.
pastures, I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah,
Well, they're saying they still may have a small part. They're actually going to be part of the. I think when it's, I'm not. I don't know about all this Hollywood stuff, but I think when you're part of a show, but they don't have a title to give you because you're just kind of there, helping every once in a while. They call you an executive producer.
in the
If you just kind of show up and
in
do
the tech
whatever.
world, we call that consulting.
Yeah, and that's a consultant.
Bringing
on
me
a
in as
TV show
a
is called an
consultant on this
executive.
project.
So I think they're still signed on as executive producers, but they're not going to be the producers of any of the spinoffs.
Yeah.
as far as I know. But I'm looking forward to this because there's once again we still don't get Targaryens because this is pre-Targaryen takeover.
You think the Night
And-
King will be in this?
Well, that supposedly that's the main deal. Is
You'll
going to
still
be
have
the
some
war.
Starks.
It
You'll
may be
have
the
some-
end of it.
You'll have
maybe.
some of the forest people.
Oh yeah,
The children of the forest.
yeah.
You'll have them. I think you'll have more magical stuff. You think the wall will be there?
No,
Have they built it
It's
yet?
before the wall. The
It's
wall may be
pre-wall.
the wall may be like the season finale.
I
of
think
this,
you'll
or
have
something,
more
or the ending
giants
of
and
it.
more. Because like in Game of Thrones, they talk about magical stuff like dragons and giants and stuff like that. Like it was like long ago.
Because this is like
well,
a
this
1,000
is long
years or
ago.
more before.
Yeah.
It's like what is it? It's not. It's more.
Like
than
they're not even
1,000.
gonna have Wi-Fi. It's gonna be
No.
so long ago.
No.
This
Like
will be
the
like
dragons hadn't even been.
it'll be like they'll have dial-up in their castles and like AOL.
Yeah. Like they're
They're
like
that
mom
far
has
away.
to get off the phone for you to use
Mom,
the
I was
internet.
downloading something.
Now I gotta start over. I'll never get this song finished. I've been downloading it for 3 days now. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it just because
I'm definitely
it's Game
gonna
of
watch it.
Thrones.
Yeah.
You know, because I wasn't so much as I'm not just a huge as big of a fan of the show, which I am a big fan of the show, as I am the other stuff. You know, I like the books, and we actually ran
I'm having a good time
a
with
few
the
years
books
ago.
right
We
now.
ran a role playing game. Where we just kind of. I don't think there was any such thing as a Game of Thrones role playing game at the time, so we just kind of created our own, basically, and it had almost no game system to it.
Dude, did you
But it was fun,
keep
dude.
any of the notes or any of the stuff from where that D&D game you made that time?
No.
Dude, that
I
was
had 'em.
so awesome because
I had them,
it
but
was like
now I don't have
it was
them.
like super simplified D&D. Like it was like they should
Basically.
buy that from you and call it D&D for beginners.
Yeah.
You-
And
you-
it was kind of the red
You missed
box.
out on like $1 million.
It was
there.
kind of the red box, and I just added a few things to it.
like
What
you
they call the
you
red
made up
box.
your whole like you made the whole game up. I mean, it was a total D&D ripoff, but it was like super simplified.
Yeah.
and it wasn't complicated.
I
That's
tried
what
to
liked
make it
about
simple as I could.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have like took notes and packaged it up and sold it to them for like D&D for beginners.
But there's actually two now Game of Thrones. There's two different types of Game of Thrones role playing games. I think there's a Game of Thrones and a Song of Fire and Ice. Like I think there's two separate.
They swapped them
Well, no, one of them's like
instead of ice and fire. It's fire and ice.
Or well, that's what I meant, Ice and Fire. I never get those right. Even though I'm a bigger fan of the books that I am
Did you
the
think
show,
that
I
little
never get
Easter
those
egg was a
right.
little too on the nose, where she wrote "Song of Ice and Fire" in the actual book on the show?
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah,
Have you seen those memes of Brienne?
dude.
It was like the one that said Jamie Lannister. He spent the last so many years of his life falling in love with Brienne, and then he died. I loved it, dude. I thought it was so funny.
There's so many good ones.
But then he died.
Was there anything else you want to talk about? You ain't been on here in a while.
No, not that I.
While
can
we
think
wrap
of.
up, I've got
I've been reading a lot of Game of Thrones stuff. I've started the Fire and Blood. It's just a history of the Targaryens, and it's really cool to learn about Aegon the Conqueror and his sister wives
yeah.
and how they conquered the Seven Kingdoms with almost nothing. Like they used, like they didn't even do they used the dragons. I mean, they really used the dragons a lot, but they used the dragons more of a like, okay, if you don't help us with this, or if you don't bend the knee to us, then we're gonna use the dragons. And
Man, do
everybody
you
was
think
like,
in the
okay, we will.
prequel they'll use like a great Wyram, like a 3-headed dragon, or that'd be balls?
I don't think in
dude.
this one. I think they're saving something. I think this spinoff is
And
going
then
to
what
be.
they call it, a great worm or Wyram?
I really think
if
this
it's 3
spinoff
heads?
is going to be to see if there's still a fan base there, and to see how many people actually still watch this
It's
one
like the most popular show
before
ever.
they. Well, I think this is kind of the one that they're saying, okay, well, let's take this one and go ahead and throw it out there and see what's going on, but we're going to save this one that's really, really good that everybody's going to love. We're going to save it to make sure, until we know.
I did think it was a little bold and risky to jump to, like, for that to be the next thing. I thought they would do something like Rob's Rebellion,
Well,
because we could see like a young Rob
What I
and a
would like
young
to
Ned,
see
and like
on
there would
that-
be people that we're kind of familiar with already.
on that, I would like to see at least them do a movie. That would be cool.
That'd be sweet.
A 2-hour movie or 3-hour, or maybe like a 4-hour miniseries, something like that. Like, because they could wrap that up pretty quick in a movie,
They could do
And
some
still
animated films.
They could. I mean, well, they do those history. It's got the stills, the pictures,
Dude.
that history and lore.
Dude, I've got this program that will record audio off your computer, and I recorded all 4 of them off YouTube.
Yeah.
And I have them on my...
Yeah, and there's long once you add them all
Oh,
together.
yeah.
I've started listening to them on my way to work and back.
Yeah,
for a
I've got them.
little while.
I've got them as an MP3. They're like freaking
Now I'm actually
a gig
the game,
each.
the Witcher game.
I've heard of it.
It's there's supposed to be Netflix is coming
There's
out with their
that
series.
advertisement for Krypton. It's showing right now.
Yeah, with Lobo.
I'm just
don't
gonna
know.
pick up a season
I
2
think
and
they
start
should have kept
watching it.
Lobo for the big
I figured they
screen.
would be saving Lobo. Yeah,
They need him on the big screen, man. That's too big of a cool of a character. Like a Lobo movie. Like,
But
you
they,
know.
they could do him on TV, and I mean, look, they did the
Well,
Flash.
yeah, that's true.
They did the Flash with 2 different people.
But they should have done Lobo like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, you know, you never expected Guardians of the Galaxy to be big. You know,
Well, he's in the Justice League of America right now. They could do a JLA
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
that's got all different characters and just have like Batman cameo, because that's kind of what he did in the comic.
Yeah.
He said,
that's
"Here's
true.
this new base I built for y'all. This is what I need y'all
But what's
to do.
the other group?
Peace out. I gotta
not
go."
the Justice League. What's the other group?
The JSA, the Justice
The
Society.
Society, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing too.
Well, I know they use them a lot in Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends, yeah. They're like old school. Like even on the show, they were like from like the 50s.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I didn't really get into them. I don't even really get into Justice League
I
of
remember
America.
Justice Society. It was one of my few, you know, I never was a big DC fan, but one of the few ones that I liked was, and I think he was part of Justice Society for a while. And Justice League. Of course, everybody was in Justice League. But was it Dr. Fate? Wasn't he part of Justice Society for a while?
Mm-hmm, that sounds right.
But he was always one of my favorites in the book, Dr. Fate. And, of
Dude,
course,
I don't have it with me because I took it to show Tim. I got Blue Beetle #1 off eBay for like, you know, every now and then you'll get lucky on
Yeah.
eBay and like
Yeah.
nobody like notices.
and you're
it goes
only,
under the
like,
radar.
Maybe you and one other broke ass dude that's
Yeah,
bidding on something.
I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna get outbid. You know, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll get outbid, but I didn't, and I won that son of a bitch.
Now, I already
And
told
it's the
you
first
about my-
appearance of the question, dude.
Have I
I
ever
mean, who
told
cares
you
about
one
Blue
of my
Beetle?
first
But
experiences
Blue
with
Beetle
eBay?
#1 has the questions first appearance.
Like I went into eBay and like you start thinking about bidding, but you don't. But like when I first started doing it, I didn't think about real money, right? I just started bidding. I was thinking, yeah, you know, I'm
Some
gonna buy
Monopoly
this
money.
because I had bought like comic book lots, like really cheap, you know, and I bought a few of them. One day I was on there looking at motorcycles, right?
Uh-oh.
So I bid like
Were you
$4,000 on this.
I can't drink on
I wasn't
eBay.
even drinking, dude. I just wasn't thinking. So I bid like $4,000 on this motorcycle. Well, you know, it's like I don't have $4,000 to pay for this thing. Why did I do that?
Oh my god.
So it goes and goes. I mean, and it was like at the beginning of the thing too. I mean, it was like the beginning of the auction. So, and I was highest bidder until like 30 minutes before the auction ended. A guy outbid me by $50. It's like I would have $4,000 motorcycle, and I was the highest bidder until 30 minutes before the end, and a guy outbid me by $50.
You got lucky.
I
on
gotta
that
say, I mean, it was a nice motorcycle. I could have, you know, I could have paid for it. I could have figured out a way to pay for it at the time, you know, and I had some disposable income, but it's like, and plus I was gonna have to pay like $500 shipping just to get it to me, or have somebody take me there to ride it back, you know, and it's like, what am I going to do with this? You know, I've got to pay another $500 to either get it shipped or spend another $500 to get somebody to take me there to get it and get it home, you know. It's like, but I came so close. Like, I was 30 minutes away from winning a $4,000 motorcycle that I wasn't even thinking about. I mean, it was a nice bike. I'd have liked to have it. But I did also bid, and this was a serious bid at the time, too. I bid like $8,000 or $9,000 on a. Do you remember the green chopper on the first Transformers movie? The one that Megan Fox was all laid out on and working on at the beginning. You know,
Yeah, I
from the
think
poster
so.
and stuff. Well, that actual bike was up on auction for like, and the highest bid was like $6,000 and something, and I bid up to $8,000.
Dude, I get nervous if I
It
bet like
actually
$50
sold-
on a comic book.
It actually sold for like I couldn't believe it. It actually sold for like 17 or 18,000. I mean, to me that's nothing for a chopper
Yeah.
that was on the movie Transformers. You know, that's
They
a
had,
bet.
like,
I mean,
certified
you can
papers and
hang on
everything
that.
with it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And the highest bid at the time I got on there was 6,000. I bid 8 because I mean, even if I didn't even like Transformers movie, the bike was nice. And I mean, it was actually a rideable bike. It was a real bike, you know, brand new bike for the most part.
Yeah.
So,
We got to get out of here.
yes, we're going to go watch wrestling and grill.
Appreciate Mr. Lonnie C. Got Clint Ritter with me,
guys
closing
be
us
jealous
out,
of our
bringing us
grilling.
home. Oh, yeah, for sure. And what episode is this? 118?
We are at, 118.
Thanks for listening to Real Pop Culture, episode 118. We've been broadcasting live from high atop the first and only floor the Killj headquarters.
Kill J.
Had to reach for it at the Killj Ranch. Love you, bye.
Bye bye.